Hello everyone, my name is Odalis. I am behind the channel called Bookish Plants. I am here. This is pretty much going to be my space where I can just talk about books, giving reviews, recommendations, anything book related content. That's hopefully what I hope to achieve on this channel. Again, my name is Odalis, and obviously, if you're new, well, everybody's gonna be new because this is a new channel. But yeah, I would really appreciate it if you stick around and you watch the video. If you like it, give it a like. If you would like to subscribe to support my channel, I would very much appreciate it. I would very much appreciate that as well. And yeah. For this first video, I decided to do the Booktube newbie tag, which is pretty much a tag that goes on for everybody who starts kind of like a new Booktube channel, or people who have just been doing it for a little less time. So I decided to do it, and yeah, it's just gonna be a list of questions for you guys to get to know me, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna go ahead into the questions. So the first one asks, why did you start this channel? So my main reason why I started this channel is I kind of just wanted a place where I can just talk about books. I don't always have somebody to talk to regarding books, and so, you know, sometimes it becomes just like a very lonely hobby, and obviously with good reason, because I mean, you're just reading, so you don't really need anybody else to kind of do the hobby with. But it'd be nice every now and again to kind of engage on like a book that really impacted me, that I know has also impacted others, and then just being able to talk about it and to kind of share your thoughts and opinions. That would be really cool. And so again, like, I always wanted to start a booktube channel. I stumbled upon the community a few years back, and ever since I watched their videos, I was always like, oh, I want to start one as well. But only now is when I had the courage and decided to start one. So that's the main reason why. Next, what are some fun, unique things you can bring to Booktube? So I would like to think that everybody has a unique perspective, and everyone has a different interpretation of a book, even if it's a book that almost everybody is reading. And so I think that hopefully with my own experiences, with my own background, with my own knowledge, hopefully I can also provide like a different type of perspective to a novel or to whatever it is that I'm discussing. And then also, just like in terms of the types of videos, I would like to introduce other types of videos. I noticed that, you know, the majority of like Booktube consists of like unboxings, hauls, book vlog or reading vlogs, recommendations, some reviews, and so a lot of it is kind of sitting in front of a camera and, you know, filming the video. But I would like to provide, like, I would like to introduce other types of videos as well. So like more essay type, commentary type of videos. So hopefully that's something that I can do and bring to the table. So yeah. Next, what are you most excited about for this new channel? So the most excited thing that I'm looking forward to is just growing. And I don't necessarily mean in like subscribers or likes or like views or whatever. I mostly mean just growing as a person. I've always been introverted and just never really talked as much to other people. So I feel like by me doing this is kind of counterintuitive to who I am, or just completely the opposite of who I am. But I mean, the fact that I just decided to do this, I think, shows a lot of growth in and of itself, and I hope to continue to grow as a person, and to learn new skills to bring into into other aspects of my life. So hopefully that's something that I can do. But yeah. Next, why do you love reading? So I love reading more so for the escapism, especially nowadays. I feel like we can all benefit from just having some type of escape, having some type of distraction, because not a lot of not so great things happen all the time, and it can really affect us in our mental health. And so I feel like having a form of distraction is very healthy, and so that's kind of the main reason why I read. I feel like reading has given me the most amount of distraction and the most amount of imagination that is completely, like, it's something that I appreciate so much about. So I really love it because of that. So. What series got you into reading? So the series that got me into reading back in my middle school years would be Twilight. It's the series that kind of, it really introduced to me like what it means to be in a world in a world completely different, like different from your own. What it means to be completely and fully distracted and just escape into something else. It's the series that pretty much introduced that passion for me. I did used to, like, I would read before that, but it was the one series that I remember, like, okay, this is what reading is. It's all about, and like, fight, like, being on the sides of these characters, really like rooting for certain characters and wanting the best for them. And I think that's what really triggered my love for reading. So Twilight. I think a lot of people would agree with that as well, but you know. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? So I feel like the main question I would ask is, how do they read so much? I feel like it's just very, I don't know, some of them just read like 12, 14, 15 books in a month, and I'm like, just how? Like, how do you do it? You know, I mean, it's definitely something that I hope to eventually learn how to do. And it's something that's very, like, I look up to, like, people who read just that much, but sometimes it's just hard. I feel like I get into reading slumps so much that I can't really read as much as I'd like to. But I would ask them that, like, how do they read so much and how do they balance everything else? What challenges starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I think the hardest thing would be consistency, just being able to have a schedule or set a schedule, even because this is very new. I don't know. After I upload this, I don't know when the next one will be. So just being very consistent and just coming up with ideas and being creative so that you can provide like that consistency and put out that many videos or however many I decide to do. I think would be the hardest for me to really get a grip on and mold into my life. So next up is, when did you start reading? So I started reading when I was very young. I would say probably like when I was just like a child. I remember going to like Barnes and Noble or to the library like with my dad, and we would always like be reading then. I remember always going to like the children's section, and you know, he would pick out his own book and then we would just kind of spend time reading. I felt like that was always like very peaceful, even if we weren't exactly reading the same books. But it was still like a nice time. So I remember reading when I was a lot younger, and enjoying it as well. So yeah. Where do you read? I I mostly read in my room. I like reading like outdoors sometimes, but I feel like I have the most peace and the least amount of distraction when I'm in my room by myself. You know, compared to like other rooms in my house where like other people are like talking as well, or like the TV's on, like I get distracted very easily, or I feel like I'm being rude to somebody because I'm not listening to what they're saying. So my room is just my favorite because it's my only place where I can just be myself, and it's just the most peaceful time for me. So yeah. Finally, what kind of books do you read? So my favorite genre wise would be fantasy. It's the genre that I naturally go towards. Though I try to I am trying to incorporate other types of books into like my readings. But I feel like fantasy is the main one that I gravitate towards too naturally. So fantasy is definitely my favorite. In terms of like length, I don't really prefer specific length, but I do find that I have like the most satisfaction in finishing like a book that's like over 500 pages, simply because it's like a journey to go from like the beginning to end, and just the realization that I finished that many pages is just absolutely like there's no greater feeling than that for me. So I really like a really big book. Okay, so that was pretty much it for all the questions. I don't exactly know who created the tag. I think it's a pretty difficult to see from the videos that I watched before making this video. So hopefully, you know, I can't quite give credit, but hopefully a lot more people know who was the originator of the tag, and, you know, can just let me know if anything. I also don't know if those were all the questions in the tag. I just kind of watched a random Booktube newbie tag and just kind of copied the questions from there. So if anything, I can just link that video as well. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. If you are interested in following any of my other social medias, then I will put those in the description box. On Instagram, I am at Bookish Plants, so you can just find me there. But again, I'll put it all in the description. And yeah, if you would like to kind of give suggestions for what I can do, or just leave a nice comment to motivate me to continue making these videos, then I would very much appreciate it. But that's pretty much it. That's all I have. So yeah, see ya.